Call the meeting to order.
Cash out, I think. Yeah, so
Will the township clerk read the statement of compliance?
This is the meeting of the Town Council for Monday, August 8, 2016. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public and the press on January 5, 2016, and was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 4-7.
Roll call.
Councilmember Murphy?
Here.
Councilmember Moon?
here.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Here.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Here.
Council President Cage?
Here. Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May I have a motion to open the floor to public comments, other than the Valley View Bridge?
Motion?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Where do I go? Right here.
Please state your name.
My name is Peggy King. I live at 6 Mountain Trail. I've lived there for 22 years in Vernon. Dear Mayor and Council, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. As a local resident, I am here today to briefly speak about the drastic expansion of the trophy bear hunt and to respectfully ask that the town of Vernon do what Pequannock, Butler, Oakton, Riverdale, Bud Lake, and Passaic County freeholders have done and make its borders off limit to bear hunting. I'm a little nervous. Last year, the Division of Fish and Wildlife drastically expanded the trophy bear hunt to include killing more than one bear, raised the number of bear hunting permits to 11,000, added more regions throughout the New Jersey, added a week, which includes bow hunting and muzzle loaders in October, and increased the bear hunt to 10 days in December. When the overwhelming amount of comments received, 92.4% was opposed to bear hunting, the Division of Fish and Wildlife went ahead with the entire policy without making one single change that reflects public opinion. In 2000, the division wanted a 37-day bear hunt, and as a result, 31 towns and environmental commissions passed resolutions against the bear hunt. This allowed then Governor Whitman to cancel the bear hunt. In fact, 3 governors have stopped 8 bear hunts because the public is overwhelmingly against them. It is well established that bear hunting does nothing to reduce conflicts. There are simple and effective solutions that not only keep bears away, but also reduce their population. By simply keeping bears away from our natural food sources, the #1 solution, we can do that. I am asking you to please introduce and pass a resolution or ordinance that closes all public lands in Vernon to bear hunting. Please consider putting this topic on the agenda for next month. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello, thank you. My name is Angie Metler. I live at 8 Nutley Avenue in Vernon, longtime resident. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I am also here to talk about the bears and the upcoming 2 hunts. First, the incredibly cruel bow and muzzleloader hunt in the second week of October, and the drastically expanded second hunt for December. I will not repeat what Peggy said, but last year, Butler and Pequannock, on their own, passed resolutions and ordinances against the bear hunt in their towns after they learned of the expansion. Additionally, Passaic County freeholders passed a resolution in 2010 forever. This resolution lasts forever, and they're opposed to bear hunting 100%. And in 2000, the Vernon Environmental Commission passed a resolution against the bear hunt. When As an organization, I'm also represented the Bear Education and Resource Group, and 95% of our activities are educational. And when we table here in Vernon, an overwhelming majority of the residents visiting our booth beg us to stop the bear hunt. People are opposed to the expansion, but they don't have any voice. I'm asking you, as Peggy did, to introduce and pass a resolution or an ordinance that closes all public lands in Vernon to bear hunting. We in Vernon are allowed to be more restrictive. I am asking you to meet me halfway. They can hunt in Wawayanda. They can hunt in the reservoir. There's a lot of other areas in Sussex County where they can hunt. But if we close off Vernon to them, that would be great. And I have other towns have asked us for copies of the resolution. Unfortunately, my printer kind of conked out, but I have copies. I also have an article where Pequannock and Butler banned the bear hunt in their towns, and I have a copy of the Vernon Environmental Commission's 2000 resolution. But sorry, I only have 3 copies. Should I give it? Is there any
You can give
way
it to the clerk.
that, what is the procedure of getting a resolution introduced?
Don't trip.
Whoa. Can we do it?
Don't trip.
Can we please do it? Thank you very much.
Larry, did you have a question? It's okay. Anyone else who wishes to step forward?
Hi, my name is Krista Gary. I just want to thank Mayor Harry Shortway and his wife Sherry and everyone else who's taken care of controlling the weeds on Route 515. It is quite an improvement for our town. I was happy to see that the Environmental Commission was reinstated. I had attended one of their meetings several months ago, and at that time I felt it was being very well governed under Beverly Butz's leadership. I have also seen Beverly plant the trees by the recycling center and water them when needed. I don't believe anyone would ever doubt her sincerity as it relates to the environment. However, amendments have been made and Sally Rinker has been endorsed to be the new chairperson of the Environmental Commission. In life, change is something we can always be assured of. It's an inevitable part of life. We can either go along with the flow or be left behind. I believe that Sally Rinker will be an asset to this group as her heart is in the right place. She is willing to learn, and she also wants what is best for the town. I think it's time for all of us to bury our hatchets so that the new doors of opportunity can continue to be open for Vernon. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? There being none, I'm asking for a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none, it's closed. Mr. Mayor, your report.
Short tonight. I just wish to advise everybody, Michelle Downton, our recreation person, has done absolutely fabulous job over at the county fair. Mike Fury did a presentation today, but Michelle actually built a model of the pinwheel, the boardwalk, and that's on display, the whole corner. We have a Vernon display there, and she's to be commended for all the time. A lot of this time she spent on her own at night making this life model of the trail system. So she's spending a lot of energy, and again, I just formally wish to inform the council of what a great job she's doing. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have approval of the minutes. You may approve the minutes as one motion unless a member of the council would like to have them separated. Regular meeting minutes, June 13th, 2016. Regular meeting minutes, June 27th. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Second to approve. Roll call?
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Bloom?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto? Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel? Yes. Council President Cage?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can you please increase the volume?
Testing, testing. Can you hear us?
Thank you.
Okay. Consent agenda, Resolution 16-177, appointment of Class 2 Special Police Officer. Officer Wallach has retired from active duty. This resolution appoints him as a special officer for the remainder of the year. Resolution 16-178, authorizing maintenance service contract with Gramco Business Communications in the amount of not to exceed $975. The township has a maintenance contract for recording equipment. This resolution allows for the renewal of the contract. Resolution 16-179, renewal of an inactive liquor license, HV Holdings LLC, requiring a special ruling in the Township of Vernon for the 2016-2017 licensing term. This license is currently inactive and required a special ruling from the ABC to renew. This ruling has been issued, and this allows for the license to be renewed. Resolution 16-180, authorizing the placement of signs for Vernon Chamber of Commerce. The annual Farm Festival is being held on September 10th. This resolution authorizes the posting of signs throughout the town to promote this event. Resolution 16-181, authorizing the execution of a letter of indemnification with the Jersey Central Power and Light and the Warwick Valley Telephone to add banners to poles. The township would like to put flags or banners on the poles along 515 and 94. Is there a motion
Motion.
to adopt Resolution 16-177 through 16-181? Is there a
I
second?
would like to ask that Resolution 16-178 be separated from the rest of the consent agenda.
Okay, understood. Are you willing to amend your motion?
Yes.
And are you willing to second? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call?
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Ung?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto? Councilmember Rizzuto?
For Resolution 16-177 through 181, sans 16-178, yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
I just have a question on 181. Sussex Rural has poles in 515 from Breakneck Road up.
We're not going that way, that far up. This is really from the DNS Mall, really towards the Dunkin' Donuts right now, that corridor,
That's the only section of 515
at this point.
at this point? Okay, because they were agreeable to it.
They are.
Vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Council President Keating?
Yes.
Motion
Uh,
carries.
Resolution 16-178. Is there discussion?
Yes, my concern with this is that, with all due respect to our police department, they do not belong in our council chambers. They are not bailiffs, nor are they sheriffs controlling a prisoner. The public should consider this intimidation under color. I would also ask that
Turn that so we
the resolution include a statement of where this feed will go from the council chambers to where, and how long will a record of the meeting be kept?
I think I can answer that. Councilmember Rizzuto, you're not in the room, but there is no police officer present at this time. In regards to the Gramco recording equipment, that's the recording equipment for the court. The town apparently purchased this equipment back in, I think, about 2010 to 2012. It's a proprietary system, and so that's the same recording equipment that we've been using every year. And this is just renewing the contract for maintenance to maintain the system in the event that it breaks. As you know, sometimes the microphones aren't working properly or the recorder's not working properly, and that's what that is for. They come out and they'll make corrections. In regards to retention time is 80 days after the minutes have been approved. you can begin destroying recordings. The
With
township,
that understanding, okay.
Okay. Roll call?
I need a motion and a second.
Okay.
Motion?
Is there a second?
A second.
There's a second. Roll call?
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Ooms?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes,
Councilmember Wetzel? Yes. Council President Kadek?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt.
Since there are no first readings, so a public hearing for ordinance 16-19, ordinance amending the salary ordinance for a non-union employee. The township currently has a salary ordinance establishing the range for deputy registrar. This ordinance expands that range, lowering the beginning range from $4,800 to $2,500. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 16-19?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
but
Aye. Any opposed? Is there anyone who wishes to address the council from the public? There being none, I ask for a motion to close
Motion?
to the
Second.
public.
Second.
Roll call. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
And then,
Any opposed? None opposed? May I have a motion to adopt 16-19?
motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Ooms?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
yes,
Councilmember Wetzel? Yes. Council President Kadek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 16-20, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, and the State of New Jersey prohibiting commercial vehicles from using Vernon View Drive Bridge. This ordinance prohibits commercial traffic from utilizing Vernon View Drive Bridge. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 16-20?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public who wishes to address the council on this matter?
Yeah. Thanks. I'm Chris Hordick. I'm the president of Vernon View Association, which the bridge you're talking about is. As an association, we've got a couple of questions, couple concerns regarding the restriction of commercial vehicles. First, we want to know what the basis behind limiting them is, being that it's a private road and a private bridge. If you are going to limit it, is there going to be a set weight limit? Is there a plan in place as to, we've had some discussions with Chuck and Harry regarding repairing the bridge. We'd like to see a plan in place if that is going to happen, with a start time, a finish, before any kind of restrictions are put in place. We started work on a secondary bridge, and we've been in talks with the town regarding if they are going to do work on the primary bridge, doing the permits for the secondary bridge, so as an association, we have access to our homes. Because if you take out the primary bridge, as you know, it's the only way in or out into our development. So from a safety standpoint, you know, some of us have kids. We're not going to walk them on that blind turn on 565 and put them on the bus. I'm not going to park a vehicle on one side of the bridge and another one at the high school and shuttle my family back and forth, as I don't think the rest of my homeowners want to do either. So as an association, we just want to know what the plan is regarding this ordinance.
I think I'd
Well,
like
I'd like to, I'm sorry, I'd like to say one thing. Sean Scully, I live in Vernon View Drive. The concern is that there's a motion here to limit the bridge, but there's no concrete plan as far as what the homeowners are going to do during that time. There's no plan as far as how long engineering is going to take, how long permits are going to take, and how long the bridge is going to take to be replaced. With winter coming up, I mean, people wouldn't have problems with bringing the garbage down, but when you're talking fuel oil and propane, it's a critical time. I mean, the bridge has been like that for quite a long time. I would like to see that a structural engineer possibly take a look at it to determine if there should be some type of weight limit to it, or if there's anything that can be done to reinforce that bridge until plans are in place for replacing it, and the time it's going to take to replace it. Now, as Chris had mentioned, we had already started to put in a secondary bridge that was going to be able to handle commercial traffic while the other bridge was being replaced. And this is all based on our understanding that FEMA was going to cover a lot of these costs, which now is not the case. So I think that we just really want a clear understanding of the time frame in this, because, I mean, we pay a lot of taxes up there for our property. I own 2 pieces of property up there, and I'm not willing to leave my house vacant for any period of time because we cannot bring goods or whatever over the bridge.
Has Corey Stoner done any research on the bridge cost factor or anything?
Maybe, I'm pretty familiar with the situation. Do you want me to
John,
give the council some
even-
background?
Right, but even before that, I just would like to say that as far as the bridge goes, I think I think that I was told that the county had made a recommendation of a sign. But as far as I'm concerned, if there's limitations to put on, which is what I'd like to ask legal counsel, is shouldn't that be up to the association to determine if they in fact own it?
So, okay, so let's, Mayor, do you want me
No,
to
go
pick
ahead.
up here? I
I'm
know you're
fine.
familiar with the situation. So I can certainly understand where you gentlemen are coming from in standing here, but you're really starting from the wrong place, respectfully. This is a private bridge. This is the association's responsibility.
Correct.
Okay? The municipality generally doesn't attend to maintenance issues and make regulations on private property unless the situation on private property rises to the level of a significant safety threat. Okay? In that circumstance, under a wide variety of circumstances, under property maintenance codes, building codes, and fire codes, and other codes, the municipality can step in and address a situation on private property. So if this bridge had been attended to, the municipality would not be in this position. The municipality generally is not interested in coming onto private property and taking on the responsibility for fixing the bridge that's on your property. However, the bridge has been neglected or deferred repairs or maintenance. The engineer has brought it to the attention of the administration that the bridge is currently in an unsafe condition. When the administration is told that a situation on private property is an unsafe condition, similar to when there's been a fire in a building and the municipality needs to come in and knock it down so it doesn't fall on the street, or kids don't get in it, or windows need to be boarded up, the municipality should take step-by-step steps to address the situation. And so the first step that the municipality can take to prohibit commercial traffic on this bridge is only a first step and is only a knee-jerk reaction, but it's an appropriate one. It's an appropriate one where the municipal engineer is coming to the administration and telling them that this bridge is not safe for heavier and larger vehicles. And so from this point forward, there can be a lot more analysis, but the first step that's been recommended, and the administration now recommends it to the council, that because the bridge is in an unsafe condition, bigger and heavier vehicles should be regulated.
So what was determined as far as it not being safe? I mean, was the engineer a structural engineer?
I know you've
evaluated
spoken to
the
Mr.
bridge?
Stoner on this, and the administration has the opinion of the municipal engineer.
It's an opinion, though.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to see a structural engineer
So
look at it and determine whether or not it's safe or not.
Honestly, I think that's an excellent idea, and if you would like to attempt to convince the administration or the council to lift this, you should retain a structural engineer to come and give an opinion
with his licenses and credentials indicating what level of traffic is safe. That would be completely appropriate, and then you
Fine.
could argue to the council
Yep.
that 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 is appropriate. What we're doing tonight, if the council passes this, is a knee-jerk reaction to a situation that's been described as being unsafe.
Yeah, but I would like to see this being tabled until,
point.
till the structural engineer takes a look at it. I mean, this
You can get
bridge
the-
has
You
been
could have
like
the
that.
structural engineer at the next meeting, but it's up to the council whether they table it or not. But when an issue's been brought to the council's attention as something that threatens public safety, an oil truck falls into that river, a truck goes over and falls off, and passengers get hurt, that it's up to the council, but I would certainly encourage them not to delay.
But you don't carry the liability on
We
that.
carry the
We carry that
liability.
liability.
With assurance liability.
You know, it's not something the town, I mean, the
So-
town has said from day one, we don't want to own a bridge, you're responsible for it. So now you're stating, yeah, you say it's public safety issue, but we're the ones carrying the liability, and we have been since day one.
This isn't a situation where I'm concerned about the municipality being a defendant in a lawsuit. This is a situation where the municipality is concerned about someone getting hurt or having an environmental catastrophe.
So it's really just the township covering themselves.
The township-
Legally. So if
I don't
a
think- I
truck
don't-
goes over after that and something happens, then you're not at fault because you put limits on that. I mean, I have a problem with living there and winter's coming and there's no plan of how long this is going to take.
Correct, but it should have been your plan. And so.
It was, we were waiting for FEMA.
And we got
And the
approval
town
from
was
FEMA.
saying that FEMA was going to pay for it. I mean, it's not like we just sat there and waited.
I mean, we made repairs
For
within...
nothing to be done.
We made repairs within 2 to 3 weeks after the storm, when we were told that the town has nothing to do with it.
I mean,
You know,
we-
and-
Storm was this? Was this Irene or Sandy? I'm just
Irene.
going back to Irene.
So
Okay.
we're going on 5 years on August 27th.
So I think, look, I think from this point, the council tonight can decide, and you can, attempt to convince them, that's certainly your prerogative and it's their jurisdiction, whether or not they delay this vote. But either way, exactly the things that you said tonight, having a structural engineer look at it, figuring out precisely what the safe limit is, coming up with a plan as to when it's going to be replaced. The situation, again, and I don't presume to speak for the mayor, but we have discussed this subject at length, the municipality has no interest on coming onto private property and making a repair. If they do, they then bill it to the property owners that benefit from
Sure.
it.
Which we
That is
understand.
not
Yeah.
cost-effective for you.
That's
It's not-
understandable.
Correct. So I've had direct conversations with the municipal engineer on this, and if you move forward with your plan and it moves, with diligence, it'll be your plan and your repairs, and then the municipality will just approve them. But the timetable on this is all yours.
The secondary bridge, is that the one that goes in front of the
The old
silo?
barn and
Yeah,
silo.
it's not fully completed yet.
All the
When does
prep
that-
work is done.
The prep work has been done. I mean, we paid for it ourselves through a loan. So it's ready to be completed. The key thing was to complete this bridge, so there was access during the repair or the replacement of the original bridge. This way, it would allow
Oil deliveries.
oil deliveries, fire trucks in and stuff like that. Now, what's going to happen even when the primary bridge gets to the point that it's being repaired, you cannot get fire trucks and ambulances in through there during that period of time. So, I mean, that could be months also,
What's the
too.
timeline on the secondary
I'm
bridge?
sorry?
On the secondary one that you're working on, what's the timeline on that? You said that the prep work's been
We
done?
did the prep work, but it's a matter of permits, and, we've been waiting on also the whole FEMA aspects, because, as you all know, dealing with FEMA is like going around in circles with 6 or 7 different people. Then the town took over the appeal process, and as you know, that's still in the process. So it's just a matter of, we got a loan for the secondary bridge because we knew we were going to have to do it, but it's a matter of getting the permits, which is another additional
And-
The condo association are not-for-profit.
non-for-profit.
And
How does that relate to the letter that we received today in terms of the funds that are available?
I don't know
That-
what letter.
that's
I
not,
included-
that's not. What I wanted to go back when you were talking about permits, because permits could take
Long
forever.
time.
And I think when several of us were at Senator Orojo's meeting a couple weeks ago, and they discussed Route 287, when that road collapsed, and how they were able to get that up and going in 5 days because they were able to acquire the permits after the fact. Would there be any provisions of that nature, of something like that coming up? I mean, if, it could pose an emergency. I mean, you have one storm and everybody's stuck. So I'm just, you really don't want to get to that situation, but I just wondered, is there any,
You've had so much time. I don't know what the DEP is going to do and what they're going to promise. I can tell you Friday, I went up there, and the whole reason I'm bringing this to attention, it's not about the liability, it's about your safeties. I mean, I know your families and I know your kids and stuff, that something has to be done. It has to be done, and this is why it was a knee-jerk to bring this kind of dialogue and discussion. Last Friday morning, I walked up the main road and over the right-of-way, and that is a real difficult situation there. But on my way back, and I don't know who owns the property, and tomorrow I was going to meet with the tax assessor and go over the tax maps, but there's an ATV road that's been used quite a lot, that's a lot more flatter through those backyards. I think it starts right at the circle there where the other development was supposed to go. I think that'd be a lot easier as a secondary road to get people in and out. I mean, it was always in the plans that it was going to tie up into that second development, as far as I can read from back in 1980s to 2003, going back. So maybe some other thing, might be a lot more economical too than to do the secondary bridge first, if you will. If that's possible to make a path there where we can get fire engines in. But again, I have to look at the property, who owns it? I don't know if it's...
talking about Colonial Developers, the 50 acres?
Right, but there's a road that runs parallel, and you don't have to go straight up that hill. So again,
You know
I was
what
just
property
walking
that
it.
is, Bruce?
That's near,
Right, but that's at the end of Colonial Oaks, at the end of Colonial Circle, the cul-de-sac where there's a gate. That goes into Colonial Developers, 50 acres.
Right.
That, actually, I have a small map. This is the 50 acres. The yellow is your road that comes in, and I think, Bruce, you own this lot here at the end,
yeah.
and I think Joel's right next to it.
But
So
I
I've
think
been,
what Harry's talking about is
Right.
almost like a shortcut to that Colonial Circle
Yes,
Road.
right.
it goes,
Not going all the way up to the 50 acres.
so it goes here, it goes down here, right into Colonial. So would it go past the last house?
Right
By
at
Bob's
the end of
house,
Bob
yeah.
Weston's lot, I think.
It's right at the cul-de-sac on your development, and you cut to the side, instead of going straight up, you cut to the side.
Exactly.
And it's, ATVs, their kids or
Yeah.
whoever's riding, they're taking shortcuts through there, and it's tough terrain.
That's private property, one of the lot owners.
Well, that's what we have to find out,
Well,
to me, is if you're gonna put a temporary road with QP or whatever, because if that bridge, whatever happens to that bridge, you need to get in and out, we realize that. So that's why I went for the hike and started exploring back there, not to trespass, but I feel it's that emergent to find a solution for you.
Because on Colonial Circle, these are all houses that go down Colonial Circle. I think Westrust, you're the long lot, right? So,
Well, just for reference, though, I just poured the floor on my house up there that I'm building, and the bridge isn't exactly fragile. I don't know how many fully loaded concrete trucks just went across it to pour my basement, so it's not like it's, that fragile. I don't know how much those things weigh, but it's tens of tons anyway.
We're just asking that you table the ordinance until more can be researched into it. I mean, you're stating a broad statement, all commercial vehicles, but yet there's no limit as far as the weight, So you're making a broad statement. For me, I'm a commercial contractor. I drive my truck 6 days a week, okay, across that bridge. So you're gonna tell me I can't go home now because I drive a mason dump and it's got commercial plates on it? I find that a little ludicrous for the amount of taxes I'm paying. And then to become a 3-season home because I can't get oil in there, but yet no one wants to state, yes, this is what can go across it, and this is what can't go across it. We've been doing it for 5 years.
I mean, one thing I want to state, it's not that we were just sitting back and just not doing anything about it. Unfortunately, like Chris had mentioned, that we were brought around in circles with FEMA for so long, about funding and stuff like that for it. And Chris had spent a lot of time on it, along with Bruce, going down to Trenton and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes in order to get this funding, so it's not just really a neglected bridge, so to say. It's more of an orphaned bridge at this point.
That's really incorrect. It's your bridge.
Okay, but FEMA was still going to pay for it.
Yeah, but an orphan bridge, we would be, I'm just making a point that we're not debating who owns it. The association owns it.
Right.
I think the point you guys are bringing up is exactly right on. The action that the administration is recommending and the council may take is broad strokes. You should, I know you've had an engineer work on it, you should have the engineer prepare a report as quickly as possible, giving the council specific information on what weight is safe, and then this ordinance can be fine-tuned if the council decides to go down this road. It can be done right away. But absent that information, they're left with the lack of information, and this is a broad stroke remedy.
Council President, I would like to point out that the time between this meeting and our next is near 2 weeks. They're asking for a time to bring a structural engineer, and I would have no problem supporting a motion to table until such time as we get a little more information. And if a motion is needed to be made, I would be pleased to make that motion.
Okay, can we wait till we close it to the public?
Yeah.
Have a motion to close to the public?
Well, they're not done. They're not done, Dan.
Okay.
I just found out this piece of information tonight. Pondetti Road, which is a private road in Vernon, am I correct? Is
And
anybody?
we had a big problem with that years ago, too.
I thought recently there was a problem with the bridge
Oh,
on Pondetti
Bruce.
Road.
Bruce, you have to
State your name.
identify yourself.
State your name
Sorry,
for the...
Bruce Zaretsky, Township resident and property owner in the subject property we're talking about. The bridge, I understand, was repaired by the county on Pondetti Road, which is a private road. How does it come to be that that bridge on Pondetti Road was the responsibility of the county, but the bridge on our road is not the responsibility of the county? I've never bought the argument that the bridge is our responsibility, but we keep being told it is. But I was always under the understanding that all bridges in the county belong to the county.
Once they're dedicated and accepted. And the county does take the lead with bridges in our county. But I know you've done development projects. It's just like with any road. If you build it to a certain standard, you offer it for dedication, and they accept it, then they will take responsibility going forward.
This was an existing bridge probably
But it
for
was a-
many, many decades.
It was a storm that caused
Yeah.
the problem.
Right.
But was it even dedicated to be, you know?
I don't know the history of
You have
that,
to
and
find the
you
permit.
could certainly look into that, and you could ask the county whether they want to take it, and
Oh, we know the answer.
I know. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
they're strapped with bridge projects right now, too. But it would be very important, back on a serious note, it would be very important for your association to find out exactly what you need to do to build it to the standard that the county will take it from you in the future.
But it would be very helpful. We appreciate your concern for the welfare of the people that live there. But it would be nice if you could go a step beyond that and help us solve a problem as taxpayers of the town. It's the government supposed to serve the people of the town. We would like you to help us solve this problem. We need a little political clout. We can't do it by ourselves.
Are there any further comments before we entertain Mr. Rizzuto's motion?
Well,
Close to the
you have to
public.
close.
Yeah. There being none, I ask for a motion to close to the public.
Motion?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? There being none, closed. Is there a second to Mr. Rizzuto's motion?
Is, you're planning on, is your motion to table it to the 22nd of August?
Yes.
And should we have some type of guidelines in there, maybe that we should expect something or have another meeting in between? Like, we should expect to have something by the 22nd. I mean, I'm just asking your recommendations, John.
I think, Councilwoman Murphy, you could certainly, depending on protocol, you could ask a representative of the association if they expected, but if they were to call, they have had an engineer work on this project. Mr. Stoner has told me about the plans and so forth. If they were to call that engineer today and ask to get a report on the structural weight capacity of that bridge, I would be awfully surprised if you had that by the 22nd. Maybe you could, maybe.
There's no reason why we can't extend the tabling of this motion on a meeting-to-meeting basis,
Indefinite.
pending any type of information provided by the engineer.
But I'm just trying to set some type of a timeline so it doesn't go beyond, and I understand you're on vacation, but I'm just saying is try to set up some type of a timeline, because, so it just doesn't go a month, 2 months, and then everybody loses sight, and then we have a storm, and now you're here looking at us, or maybe not you, but looking at us saying, well, you didn't push us. So it's just trying to come up with a happy medium. But I can understand you're not going to get an engine.
I totally agree with deadlines.
Yeah.
I mean,
30 days.
That's,
22nd seems too short.
Yeah.
you know, we need to first get in touch with the engineering firm, to see what time they can come out and stuff like that. Obviously, they're just not going to walk out and look at it and go, okay, they're going to have to go back and
do a report and
do a
everything, too.
report and everything like that to come up with a realistic capacity load of the bridge.
Can we expect a report by September 12th?
That's your next meeting? That seems realistic.
I don't see why not,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean, if we get it sooner, we'll be more than happy to give it to you sooner.
30 days, I mean,
34 days,
that's reasonable.
how about I'd say the meeting after, 30 days is very fast.
Yeah, 30 days.
Yeah.
Do school buses go over that bridge?
No.
No.
But at the same time, I'm not walking my kids on 565 on that blind turn and take that bridge down.
What's the meeting after the 12th? It might be.
Well, it might be best for the 12th. This way, at least, we could decide at that point if you've gotten anywhere, because,
All right, that's fair.
Yep.
are you in agreement to that, Pat?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. So we're tabling it to September 12th.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Ung?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto? Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Against my better judgment, I'd like to get this moving as quickly as possible.
This is
but
it.
I'll vote yes.
Council President Keating?
Yes.
Motion carries to table to September 12th, pending structural engineering report to be obtained by the homeowners association and brought forward.
Ordinance 16-21. An ordinance to repeal Township Ordinance 16-16. This ordinance codifies action taken by the council at last meeting to repeal Ordinance 16-16. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing for Ordinance 16-21?
Motion. No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address us on this matter? Seeing no more members, no members of the public wishing to speak, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on Ordinance 16-21?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt 16-21 ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Ung?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Keating?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the ordinance.
Mrs. Murphy, would you wish to comment?
Comment. As I just mentioned earlier, many of us attended Senator Orojo's meeting on the July 27th, I believe it was, and it was regarding the transportation tax fund, and it was regarding the increase in the gas tax. And I just wanted to bring it to anyone's attention that if you do have questions or if you have any comments that you'd like to make to Senator Oroho, any suggestions, that you can actually write to Senator Steve Oroho at 1 Wilson Drive in Sparta, New Jersey, 07871, or he could be emailed at, it's Sen, S-E-N, Oroho, O-R-O-H-O, at njleg.org. They're welcoming all comments, and it would be interesting to hear from public. I mean, I have heard on my own from various residents, but it is important that everybody speak up if they have something to say about it. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that, ironically, I came across a newspaper from 2002. It was something from the New Jersey Herald, and there was a little section, and what it did is it gave progress on the towns, and it kind of gave a little history on what to expect in the future. It said, into the future, and it was dated Sunday, February 17th, 2002. And I'm just going to read this short information here about Vernon. It says, according to Vernon Mayor John Logan, the Vernon Township Council has several goals it hopes the township will accomplish this year. The township is hoping to erect a third emergency services tower and complete the first phase of construction on the controversial Maple Grange Park plan. The council is also hoping to secure easements and begin construction on the town center traffic solution, as well as to determine treatment options and construction of the town center sewers. Vernon also plans to complete work on its preserve plan and secure its first commitment under the township's farmland and open space preservation program. This year, the township plans to begin construction on the town center post office as well as the Vernon bike path. Back to 2002, this was Mayor Logan. The council is also hoping to secure a town center senior citizens housing development agreement, according to Logan. So you could see in 2002, some of the plans that were supposed to happen in the future that they had hopes for. I mean, I'm hoping that some of these accomplishments can at least be made within this year or next year, but, because I could see we've really, we're lagging behind on, what the plans were. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Mrs. Holmes?
Yes, I just want to make a statement, and it's something that I think we should be thinking about and acting upon, is a code of conduct for our committee members, professionals, and secretaries of our boards and commissions. Has anything been done about that?
We've sent out letters as far as chain of command, responding to our business administrator. We are working on a personnel manual. With the insurance company right now going over that.
Okay, so the personnel, would that apply to committee members and board members and paid
I assume
secretaries?
In there, we want a standard of professionalism at all times.
Okay. All right. I'll give it time and see what transpires from that
Okay,
before we
thank
go
you.
forward.
Mr. Wetzel?
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed Senator Oroho's meeting because of a personal commitment, that I could give the viewpoint of many of the people that I have come into contact with, that this is not doing Sussex County any good whatsoever. We don't have any roads. We have limited services. The majority of the people in this town and Sussex County commute, and they're going to be hit very, very hard, because this is going to be a ripple effect. Because prices are going to now go up. Anything that is brought into this town, food, bread, you're going to have to pay some type of an energy tax, etc. In my opinion, and it's only my opinion, people that I've talked to, they are opposed to this. And I talked to Senator Oroho on Saturday at a walkathon for drug addiction, and I expressed my viewpoint to him.
Mr. Rizzuto, please speak loudly into the phone.
Other than echoing Mr. Wetzel's comments, I have no other comments this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to continue Mrs. Murphy's comments in the sense that when we attended this meeting, there was a lot of information I found very interesting. The state has a $1.4 billion in debt payments to make each year. We only have $900 million in revenue. There are 7,000 bridges in New Jersey. 10% are structurally deficient. 26% are obsolete and don't match current federal or state standards. 66% of the roadways are classified as being poor. 35% of the drivers that use these roads and bridges are from out of state, so therefore they don't pay taxes to the general fund in New Jersey. The total debt is $16 billion, and we'll need $30 billion to pay off that debt in time. 14 cents is the old gas tax that we have now on a gallon. And of course, he's asking for 23 or 24 cents in a new tax. And 18.4 cents is federal tax. Of the new tax, 21% would be returned to the counties. That's $400 million. They'll come back to the counties. And another statistic that they brought out was, according to their standards, 1 mile of roadway is about $183,757 per mile. But the confusion lies in that Rutgers study says it's $2 million a mile. So that causes a great deal of confusion in the public. Of $1.5 billion spent annually on highways, 60% is spent on construction. So I thought those were interesting statistics, and as the press knows, they were not allowed in the meeting. They were barred from it for some reason, and I thought it would be interesting to bring those comments out and talk about why this is so important to at least think about. Thank you.
Before you
And I'm
adjourn.
gonna make a
Oh, one
comment.
sec. Before you adjourn, I just wanted to mention that Councilmember Dick Wetzel stepped down from the Beautification Committee and asked if Sandy Ohms would take that spot, so if,
I'll second that.
That's a motion?
well, I don't know if it's, yeah, does it have to be a motion, then motion. Did you hear that, Pat?
Who appointed it?
Is that an appointment the mayor makes?
Appointed.
Dan?
Well,
I'm sorry?
it's appointed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a mayoral appointment, so the mayor's just indicated that the appointment is made.
Yeah.
Oh, Thank
Right.
you.
I guess we approve, regardless.
I think you appointed. That doesn't matter.
Thank you. Just your comment, with the ripple effect of the gas, it's going to affect the municipality. Board of Ed with the buses. Just on this bills list, our bill to Baldwin Oil is $5,000, so increase that by 12%, so it's $600 more over a year's time. So it is going to affect our budgeting,
You better believe it. You better
especially
believe
Board of Ed.
And it's, plus, we've been able to actually start filling up some of these vacant homes because the commute has become a little bit more affordable, but, you know, that could stop.
At the risk of starting a controversy, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, I'm not opposed.
Meeting adjourned.